Divide Norway's sovereign wealth fund by its population, and every Norwegian owns about $350,000. I'm Norwegian. I've never seen a krone of it. By law, I never will. This is how my country got unimaginably rich and then locked the money away from itself. In 1969, they found oil in the North Sea. Not a little, a lot. And Norway had to answer a question most countries never get asked. What do you do with money that falls out of the ground? The easy answer: spend it. Roads, hospitals, tax cuts. Every politician's dream, right now, while the oil lasts. But oil runs out. Every barrel pumped is a barrel gone. So Norway asked a harder question. How do you turn a resource that runs out into one that doesn't? The answer sounds simple. Don't spend the money. Sell the oil, take the cash, and convert it into something that regenerates. Financial assets. Ownership. Turn black liquid under the seabed into shares, bonds, and buildings above it. Oil is temporary. Ownership, if you never rate it, compounds. So they built a fund. The deal was simple. The state's oil money goes in, and in May 1996, the government made its first transfer. Since then, the total net deposits add up to 5,420 billion kroner. Put that number on screen. Here's what matters. The decision wasn't made once. It has been made every single year since. Every budget, every election, every crisis. Because the temptation never goes away. There is always a good reason to spend just a little more. A crisis, a promise, a moment. The system works because the answer was decided in advance, before the temptation arrived. That, more than the oil, is the idea. Now here's what that idea became. The fund today is a machine with 4 rules. Rule 1. The money never comes home. Everything the fund owns is invested outside Norway. Not a single krona is invested in this country, because if you pump the world's largest sovereign fund into an economy of 5.6 million people, you don't get prosperity, you get inflation. Wages explode. Prices explode. Every part of the economy that isn't oil gets crushed. So the money stays abroad. All of it. The fund is the reservoir. Norway is the valley below. The dam opens a little, every year, in a controlled way. Rule 2. The government may spend roughly what the fund is expected to earn, its real return, after inflation. Never the principal, never the fund itself. The metaphor is an orchard. You eat the apples, you never cut down the trees. In a bad year, you eat fewer apples. You still don't touch the trees. This rule is the heart of the whole machine. Principle is sacred. Only the return is spendable. Everything else in this story, everything is plumbing. Rule 3. The fund can own no more than 10% of any single listed company. It is built to be a passenger, never the driver. It wants to own a thin slice of everything, and thin slices add up. Today the fund holds about 7,200 companies worldwide. On average, it owns 1.5% of every listed company on Earth. Say that differently. Wherever you work, whatever you buy, a small piece of it probably belongs to the Norwegian people. Rule 4. Some companies are excluded entirely. The fund keeps an ethical exclusion list, decided by Norges Bank's executive board, on advice from the Council on Ethics. A gate with a guard who reads every name. So, does the machine work? Here are the numbers, on screen, with dates and sources. Since 1998, the fund's average annual return is 6.64%. Not spectacular, steady. The cumulative return since 1998, 13,457 billion kroner. Remember the deposits? 5,420 billion. The machine has earned more than double what was ever put into it. At the end of 2025, the fund was worth 21,268 billion kroner, roughly $2 trillion. Say that out loud, because I just did. Then, in the first quarter of 2026, markets moved, and the fund dropped to 19,998 billion kroner. Nobody panicked. Machines don't. Now the honest part. This machine has problems, real ones, and I'd rather you heard them from me. Problem 1. Dependence. Every year the state transfers money from the fund into the national budget. Part of the bill for schools, hospitals, and pensions is now paid by the machine. And that share keeps growing. The fund was built to free Norway from oil. Instead, the state is becoming dependent on the fund itself. Nobody knows where that ends. Problem 2. Call it hypocrisy or call it tension. Every krone in that fund came from selling oil and gas. Norway still pumps it, still sells it. The fund invests in a world after oil, financed by oil. Some call that smart hedging. Some call it having it both ways. I don't resolve that. I just live here. Problem 3. Politics. The spending rule is not a law of physics. It's a political agreement. And political agreements bend when there's an election to win. Every budget season, someone argues the expected return is too cautious, or the moment too special. So far, the rule has held. So far is doing a lot of work in that sentence. Problem 4. The fund doesn't fix everything, not even close. Norwegian households carry some of the highest debt in the world, relative to income. The nation is rich, and its people are leveraged. Both of those things are true at the same time. The fund is not a magic trick. It's a savings account with rules. Here's the uncomfortable summary. The machine works because of politics. And politics is also its biggest threat. The discipline is the achievement, and the vulnerability. I don't tell you this to sound balanced. I tell you because the myth of the perfect fund is less interesting than the truth of the fragile one. Fragile, and still standing, after 30 years of reasons to break it. Hold that thought. So, what can you take from this? Careful, I'm not giving you financial advice. I'm not qualified, and this is not that kind of video. I'm telling you what my country does with our money. Whether any of it fits your life is your call, not mine. With that said, 4 things the machine does. 1. It decided the rules before the emotions arrived. The answer to should we spend more this year was written down decades ago by calmer people in calmer times. 2. It withdraws less than it expects to earn. Not what it earned last year, what it expects to earn on average, forever. The bar is set below the expectation, never above the hope. 3. It diversifies to the point of boredom. 7,200 companies. It doesn't pick winners. It owns the haystack, needle included, and sleeps fine. 4. It never touches the principal. The principal is not the savings. It's the machine that makes the savings. You don't sell the machine. That's it. That's the whole philosophy. 4 rules, each one boring, each one hard, multiplied by 30 years. Boring and hard is the actual secret. Notice what's not on the list. Timing markets, being clever, having a great year. The fund had a down quarter this year, remember? 19,998 billion. Nobody in Oslo panicked because nobody in Oslo is allowed to. The rules don't have feelings. That's the point of them. That's the whole invention. A country wrote down what calm looks like, and then bound itself to the paper. Everything else, the trillions, the returns, is just arithmetic, doing its slow work. Here's the part I can't stop thinking about. The first transfer was made in May 1996. The people who approved it are retired now, or close to it. They built a fortune they would never spend, for people they would never meet. The fund is a letter addressed to the future, from a generation that sealed it before sending. Every Norwegian owns $350,000 of it. None of us can touch it. And that, the not touching, is the entire inheritance. If you want more systems explained from the inside by the people who live in them, subscribe.